What Ferrari has just revealed ahead of the Spanish Grand Prix has taken everyone by surprise, especially Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. The changes coming to the SF25 this weekend are not minor upgrades or usual tweaks. They represent a major shift in Ferrari's technical direction and could be the most important development of their 2025 season so far. These changes are not just meant to improve performance, but also to answer growing concerns from within the team and outside. Fans, pundits, and even Ferrari's top management have been asking the same questions for weeks. Why is a team with such strong driver talent, a team that nearly won the championship last year, suddenly struggling to stay competitive? This weekend in Barcelona is where Ferrari has chosen to roll out its most significant upgrade of the season. The timing is crucial because the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya is known for being one of the toughest tracks on the calendar. It tests every aspect of a car's performance, from aerodynamics and tyre wear to balance and driver confidence. If an upgrade works in Barcelona, it usually works everywhere. That's why Ferrari is putting everything on the line here. The major highlight is the introduction of a new front wing and a completely redesigned rear wing. These changes are not just visual. They mark a total redesign of how the car is meant to behave on track. The new front wing is particularly important because it's built to comply with the FIA's new technical directive called TD018. This new rule limits the flexibility of front wings across the grid. The idea behind the directive is to clamp down on flexi-wing designs, which bend under aerodynamic pressure to give teams more straight-line speed without losing cornering grip. These systems, while clever, were pushing the limits of legality. Now the FIA wants everything stiffer, more regulated and fair. Ferrari's response to this rule is a stiffer, more predictable front wing. They believe this will finally give their drivers a more stable and reliable platform. The rear wing, which now features a flat profile instead of the older V-shaped design, is aimed at improving downforce and cornering ability. Together, these two parts are expected to bring the car back into a more balanced state, something Hamilton and Leclerc have both been missing since the first race. But there's more to this than just new parts. Ferrari says they have identified a key issue that has been limiting the SF25's performance. According to data from recent races, especially Monaco, the team realized the car lacked the drivability and predictability that made last year's SF24 such a strong competitor. This weekend's changes are an attempt to bring those characteristics back. The engineers believe that by reverting to some of the aerodynamic concepts that worked well in 2024 and by combining them with new compliance to TD018, the SF25 can finally unlock its true potential. This is especially important for Lewis Hamilton. Since joining Ferrari, Hamilton has had a frustrating season. He hasn't reached the podium yet, and every weekend seems to bring new challenges. Miscommunication with the team, unpredictable car behavior, and strategy errors have all played a part in keeping him away from the front. But now with the new wings and a clearer technical direction, this could be his best chance to show what he can really do in red. For Charles Leclerc, the stakes are just as high. He has been the more consistent of the two Ferrari drivers this season, often dragging the car into positions it didn't deserve to be in. But even he knows that consistency alone won't bring championships. He needs a car that can fight for wins on pure pace. If this upgrade delivers what the team promises, Barcelona could be a turning point for Leclerc too. It could show that Ferrari is finally giving him the tools he needs to win. There's also a bigger picture to consider. Ferrari is not just competing on the track, there is pressure from inside the organization as well. Reports suggest that Ferrari's top management is growing impatient. The expectations were high after such a close fight in 2024. Now, with the team already trailing over 170 points in the standings, patience is running out. These upgrades are not just about improving the car. They are about proving that the team still has a clear vision and the ability to execute it. Another important element is the timing of the FIA's technical directive. TD018 has the potential to shake up the entire grid. Teams that have been using flexible aerodynamic components to gain speed may now find themselves exposed. McLaren and Red Bull, for example, have been rumored to rely on such designs. With the new limits in place, their advantage may be reduced. That's what Ferrari is hoping for, that the rule change will level the playing field and give them a fresh chance to fight at the front. TD018 limits vertical flex in front wings to just 10 mm under symmetrical load and 15 mm under asymmetrical load. Previously, these limits were 15 and 20 mm respectively. Even the wing flaps are now limited to just 3 mm of flex under a specific load. These changes are designed to make sure no team can bend the rules to gain extra performance. Ferrari's new wings are built from the ground up to meet these limits while still improving handling and downforce. What makes this even more interesting is that Ferrari believes they're not just reacting to the rules, they believe they are ahead of the curve. By introducing a completely redesigned aerodynamic package that complies with TD018, they're not just playing catch-up, they're setting the new standard. The team's internal data suggests that the changes will make the SF25 more consistent and easier to drive at the limit. If that turns out to be true on track, Ferrari could quickly find themselves back in the fight with Red Bull, McLaren, and Mercedes. But if the upgrades don't work, the consequences will be serious. This weekend is seen as a make-or-break moment for Ferrari's 2025 campaign. Everything the team has said and done over the past 2 months has pointed to this race as the point where things would finally turn around. If the new wings and aerodynamic changes don't deliver the expected results, it will be hard to justify the direction Ferrari has taken. For Hamilton and Leclerc, this race is about more than just scoring points. It's about confidence, belief, and the future. A strong result in Barcelona could silence a lot of doubts and build momentum for the rest of the season. A poor result, on the other hand, could deepen the crisis and raise questions about leadership, strategy, and technical direction. From an engineering point of view, these changes represent months of hard work. The design and testing of new aerodynamic parts is a long and complicated process. Every piece must go through simulations, wind tunnel tests, and finally track testing. By the time the parts make it to the car, hundreds of hours have already been invested. That's why everyone at the factory in Maranello is watching closely. A successful weekend will validate all their work. A failure will be a huge blow. There's also the psychological aspect. Teams like Red Bull and McLaren have been performing well and gaining confidence with each race. Ferrari has been stuck in a cycle of near misses and lost opportunities. A strong showing in Spain could change that. It could give the drivers and the team the belief they need to fight again. This is also a crucial time in the season. With several more races to go and many more points on offer, a turnaround now could still save the championship. But to do that, Ferrari needs to stop talking about potential and start delivering results. That starts in Barcelona. There are still many unknowns. How will the new wings perform in real race conditions? Will the SF25 behave the way simulations say it will? Can Hamilton and Leclerc finally push the car without having to fight it every lap? And perhaps most importantly, how will the rest of the grid respond to the TD018 directive? If Red Bull and McLaren suffer under the new rules, Ferrari has a real opportunity to gain ground. But if those teams continue to perform strongly, then the road back to the top will be even harder. In the end, the Spanish Grand Prix will be remembered for one of two reasons. Either it will be the race where Ferrari turned things around and began their comeback, or it will be the moment when it became clear that this season is slipping away. For now, all eyes are on Barcelona.